Matikela, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about who I choose number two. I choose number two, Bongani Sandiswa Ndanzi. One thing that we should not fail to understand, Bongani Ndanzi is not a witness. This is accused number two. Sorry, yes, he is in the witness box, but this is accused number two, Bongani Ndanzi, standing up in an open court to fight for his life. It's gonna be 7 years this June since he was in prison for a crime that he did not do. For a crime that he did not do, it's gonna be 7 years. So he's not there to help the state. He's not there to assist the prosecution. He's not there to play with his life, but to tell South Africans that he had nothing to do with the crime. He is there to tell South Africa one thing, actually. I did not kill Senzo Meyiwa. He keeps saying that in every other sentence. You will hear him saying that. And before anyone rushes to outrage, before anyone types any angry comments, let me say this clearly. At this point, this is day 3 today. It's day 3. It's day 3. I think the people that believe in that Senzo Meyiwa case and believe that the accused are being framed, we still believe him even to this day because he's so consistent. He's so consistent. We don't believe him because of emotions or because he's playing with our emotions, not because we sympathize with him, but because this case has never, ever made sense to begin with from day one. From day one, and when we kept on bringing that one day when they did the media briefing on the 26th of October 2020, we were waiting because the things that they said there, we were like waiting. Who are these men? What's happening? Okay, we waited, and then came the 27, and these men came in court in Boksburg, and they refused to enter the box. We're like, what are we doing here? Some of them were like, we don't even know who the hell is Senzo Meyiwa. Why are we here? What is this about? So all of that made people to be like, this is a first. We've never heard of accused people refusing to enter the dock. This is a first. So they were making a stance. No, you are not going to bully us into accepting this fate that had nothing to do with us just because some, especially it was accused 3, 4, and 5 that first refused, especially it was accused 3. Then 4 and 5 followed. The other 2 had no choice. He was like, no, I'm not entering the box. You are going to tell me, why am I here? What am I doing here? And even the second appearance in November, same thing they were asking, but they were fine with going into the dock, but they asked, what are we doing here? Do you understand? So that is why then they gave South Africans something to think about because they told us that they have a watertight case to this day in 2026. That was 2020. Now it's 2026. We are still waiting for this part that was watertight because the evidence that was led by the state there, by the state there, it does not make sense. It does not even put any of them. The circumstantial evidence that they have, it's the one that they built. Ngomezulu used to call it cooking a potjie. It was a manufactured evidence. Otherwise, they don't have proper watertight evidence. They don't have that. So that is why when Bongani Ndanzi got into the witness box, we were like, shame, man. Shame, man, Bongani Ndanzi. Shame, 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 shame. We and most people, as much as we believe all 5 of them did not do the crime, but when it comes to Bongani Ndanzi, we feel for him as the country. Most people in the country are feeling for Bongani. 7 years in prison without even ever committing crime. You were a mine worker. It will never make sense. It will never make sense. The other ones, yeah, okay. They did some deeds there, so it's fine. But when it comes to Bongani, it's so sad. It's so sad. Why must he pay for crimes that he did not do? Others are paying for crimes that they did. But what about him? What about him? So it is quite that situation. Now, we are noticing now through the evidence, no, man, something is very wrong here also, because back then in 2020, 2021, 2022, we could see in those court processes that, yeah, but when 2023, 2024, 2025 came, that's when everything was revealed. Everything was revealed thoroughly that, no, man, these people are being framed. There's no way. Absolutely no way. Because they fought for their lives in that courtroom. They fought every day, and the truth was out for anyone who was willing to see things for what they are. Anyone who was willing to see the truth for what it is. They saw, Uguti, no, this case does not make sense. It can't be. It can't be. And I think one of the reasons that it's not making sense is because we have Abobongantans sitting in prison for 7 years for something that they did not do. Yet the Gininda came in court and claimed that Kelly Khumalo is the mastermind. And Kelly Khumalo is one of the people that were inside the house. But throughout these 7 years, Kelly Khumalo is still not in prison like Bongani Dance. Why does she deserve to have freedom until whatever is collected, but Bongani doesn't? They did not even allow him to get bail. Don't even get me started when it comes to that. We have people that are real criminals, they are getting paid, but he doesn't. No, man, no. Because of what Gininda painted Bongani to be. Because of what Gininda painted Bongani to be. And the people that saw what happened to Senzo, the people that were with him, they are sitting there, chilled out. They don't care. They don't care. Ukeli Khumalo was named under oath on record in court, and yet nothing happened to her. No arrest, no charge, no I choose number 6. Instead, she's gallivanting in South Africa and across borders, making music, making money. No one is talking about that. And we are expected not to feel some type of way for Ubongani Dance. Njani, because this situation is teaching us that it can happen to any of us. It can happen to any family member. And some of us have experienced where law was unfair to our loved ones. So we know what Bongani Dance is going through. Going to jail for something that you had nothing to do with, that you did not even participate in any way, shape, or form. So he got into that witness box and he is fighting dearly for his life. The way he is busy putting the story, it's still the same way he was putting the story during trial within a trial. And this is where the case begins to look less like justice and more like damage control. A decision appears to have been made. Someone must pay. And now they are making Abo Bongani pay for something that they did not do. It is sad. And Bongani takes the stand. Bongani stands up and he is like, I am not going to let my life go without a fight. Whatever happens out of this, I will fight. He spoke about what happened after he was arrested. He spoke about the interrogation methods. He spoke about the forced compliance. He spoke about all these allegations. And he spoke about the things that happened to him, the torture, the beating, the teaser that was used, the electrocution that happened. There was a lot of things. The water that he was thrown into, there was a lot of the plastic tubing that he went through because of police. These are people that are supposed to be state entities that are supposed to be security measures of this country, and now we should be scared of them. We don't trust them anymore. We fear them because the stories that keep cropping out, even on the Madlanga, how they throw South Africans into dams, kill them and throw them into dams, it's very scary. If you also listen to the Nkabinde inquiry, that Tonton Mena wing, how they killed people, and got paid for it, and they were police officials, it's just alarming. So we can't just accept anything that is said by police. We need to question it. We need to question everything. We need to question it. And also the same case that Bonga, I remember Bonga Ndanzi giving evidence during the trial. He's still going to that, the trial of places that he was taken to while they were trying to force him, to admit into this crime that he knows nothing about. And Umomezulu was remembering, no man, that is Albertine. No man, that is this new market. This is this place. This is this place. He's going through all of that. Now he's reliving his trauma because someone in the house decided they are not going to tell the truth, or someone from outside the house told the people that were inside the house, you are not going to reveal what happened here, for whatever reason. So right now we have Ubongani Ndanzi on the stand fighting for his life, and he is calm, composed, and day 1 was a bit shaky, day 2 was better, day 3 is excellent. I'm hoping this week, maybe by Friday, he will be done, and he would have been stronger for the upcoming cross-examination from the other defense lawyers and also from the state. But I trust him because I think he's building up momentum, and that is why you will see these disturbances from the state, because what is this? Anyway, what are your thoughts when it comes to him? Do you think that he's doing great? Do you think that he deserves our sympathy? Do you think that he deserves our prayers? Do you think that we should continue praying for him? Do you believe him when he says he's being framed? Because one of the things that I think South Africans are believing him for, he was painted as a what? As a DRUG seller, and also as a firearms seller, but the person was born in 1990, and at that time, how are people going to be sold firearms by Bongani? Where is he going to? But by the way, he is a mine worker, in case you forgot that part. There was a lot of things that did not make sense. To top it up, they talked about him being part of so many cases, plus minus 30 cases, including a Nongoma case. But that Nongoma case docket was brought in court. They were angry, but the one thing that happened when it comes to that, it told us about Anselani Buthelezi and Banban Ngwenya. Both of them, he doesn't know them. He doesn't know them, both of them. So it's quite an interesting ride, but I want to hear your views. What are your thoughts when it comes to that? Let's talk in the comment section. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.